Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another stream. Let's see. Let's go down through the list. Hello, Seabiscuit. Hello, Brink. Oh, Cogs, thank you for the gifted sub to Seabiscuit, and thank you for the resub for how many months? 3 months total. Jesus. Does that say you've gifted 50 gift subs? Oh my god. Is that right? Jesus, dude. Thank you. Hello, Brink. I do actually have a schedule. It's just I didn't repost it this week because I'm a little bit dumb. It's supposed to be the same as last week and the week before, where we basically just every weekday except for Tuesdays, we work on the lathe starting at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, MST, Mars Standard Time. Um, and then I just did not say anything in my Discord because I'm a dumbass. And then today I was late. Hello, Sparks. Let's see. You've got 105 in Ty's channel. Jeez. Hey, Stuffy, how's it going? Been waiting 2 weeks for a slip ring. That's rough. That is rough skis. So yeah, today, I was supposed to start at 4, which was 15 minutes ago. And I was late because I was doing some errands. Um, I grabbed a box of 1032 nuts for the lathe. I also grabbed a couple of quarter 28 nuts for the lathe because of course, it uses quarter 28. So I grabbed a few of those, but 1032, I grabbed a whole box because I can. I'm going to use them at some point. Actually, I might have a box in the house now that I'm thinking about it. There's a very good possibility that I have a box in the house that I just forgot about until now. Okay, whatever. More is never a bad thing. Hey, Nutson, how's it going? Ready, you are a good, entertaining streamer. I hope you are doing well and that you had a great Christmas, my friend. A paid chatter. Wait, I should add that as that's a 7TV emote. I should add is paid chatter. But thank you, Cogs. I also grabbed this short little half 13 set screw because this is actually going to be used for the surface grinder arbors, the wrench in them. It's used for basically popping them off of the tool, off of the spindle once we're done with them. But I got one for some reason. I know the reason, it's just a really stupid reason. I got one that was really, really long. And so I made the wrench once. But making the set screw really, really long means that you need to tap it really, really deep. And so I tapped it with the machine as far as I was comfortable with, and then I went to with on it by hand. And then when it was like just barely at depth, like I was checking it every now and then. I was pulling the tap all the way out, clearing all the chips, checking it all the way, doing the whole thing. I was trying to be careful. On the very like it was so close, so close. And then I snapped the tap like an inch and a half deep into the hole. And this is a half-inch tap. Um, so there is very little uh chance of getting that thing out. Um, so that hurts. I might I don't know. I might be able to get it out if I like use a ball end mill and chuck it in the lathe and just peck it basically with the ball end mill like a drill. Um, I mean, I guess I could also use like a proper carbide drill, but I don't want to shatter one of those because they're expensive. Um, on my stupid little project. Maybe that is the best way to go though. Hmm. Yeah, that's something I need to think about. If you, since I'm always just so mean to you, you had to call me out in Ori's chat. I did. I did. It was funny. I was correct. Uh, it's very funny. Time to make a tap removal tool. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There are not many great options for doing that other than an EDM drill. And there is one. Okay, so basically, the way that the university is divided up, there's like the big lab, the big machine shop where like they do trainings and stuff, and they let people use the machines. And there's the machine shop for like I think it is the machine shop for the researchers. So like they have dedicated machinists there who do nothing but make dumb parts for researchers, I think. Um, uh, uh, and then there's also like some separate labs, and one of those separate labs, and it's one that I walk by fairly often. It has a big window on it. One of them has what I think to be a Chinesium EDM drill, hole popper machine. Um, but I'm gonna ask them when we go back to sem go back to holy shit. I'm going to ask them at some point if that's what it is, and if they could please remove this tap for me. Here's the problem. They're all researchers. I know that they're dumb. It's all like engineers. Like I know that they don't know what they're doing. I'm a little concerned that they'll scrap it. But if I mean, it's already kind of scrapped, so we'll see. I might give it another shot with the carbide drill or something. Hey, Boulder, welcome on in. What did we get from Mystery Metal Store today? Well, I'm so glad you asked. It was not in fact metal. Oh wait, let me. Here we go. Not in fact metal today. Today we have plastic out the ass. We have 4 bars of 7/16 inch, or which is 11 millimeter Delrin. And I think each one of these is about 8 feet long. I only got 4 of them. There were probably, I would guess, 50 of these bars in here. But like, sorry, did I say Delrin? This is nylon. Um, there were probably about 50 of those bars in here, but I got just a few because I feel like it could come in handy because, like, yes, and it was extremely cheap. I also got, there were several of these bars, which I don't know what they are. They're not, I'm not entirely sure what they are. They're very bent. They're very banana shaped. They are, actually, I don't know what diameter they are. Let's grab the calipers. Um, um, Oversized half inch. So it's like 14 millimeter. Yeah, about 14 millimeter. Um, and I don't know, they're a little weird. I only got one of these because I was like, what the hell is this? And I grabbed one. Um, yeah, I know I hate nylon too, but it's useful, so I grabbed it. And then I also grabbed this nice long stick of this is Delrin. This is or it's specifically what's it called? Acetron, which is just a Mitsubishi specialty blend of acetyl, which is just Delrin. It's yeah, I mean you can see the dimensions there. 1 inch by 2 by 1.5 by 48 inches long. And all of this cost me a grand total of $6. Here's the really sad thing though. Um, while I was there, and I was finding the plastics and I was looking at all this stuff, because like Mondays I think is when they put out new stuff. So that's why I went today. Among the other reasons I need to go to the hardware store, and it was close by, so I grabbed it. Hey, Delarian, how's it going? That Delrin looks a lot like nylon. Okay, this is something I'm really not good at identifying plastics by look, because they're all just so similar. I guess that one though it does look very different. It's more of an off-white, kind of translucent. But anyway, the really sad thing is, um, I was walking by, and then these two guys found a 1.5 inch diameter bar of PEEK, PEEK, and it was probably 3 or 4 feet long. And they didn't know what it was. They were reading out the label, like, "Oh, what is this stuff?" And I saw it, and I was like, it's brown plastic. It's about the right color. Is this PEEK? And I was kind of wondering. I was kind of eyeballing them. I was kind of eyeing them, and I was right next to them. And then they started reading out the label, and they were like, "Oh, it says something something PEEK." Huh, weird. I wonder what that is. And my dumbass chimes in and goes, "Oh my God, did you say that's PEEK?" Because they were considering buying it anyway for bushings or something. I don't remember what they were gonna do with it. They had like a small machine shop apparently, like a garage shop type person. It sounded like. Um, but my dumbass pipes in, goes, "Oh my God, is that PEEK? Is that what you said?" And he's like, "Yeah, you're holding like $2,000 or something." And then naturally they take it because I have brain damage. Nylon is shinier and slightly transparent. Okay, good to know. Not 2K, isn't it? Okay. I've looked at prices of PEEK. I just kicked the camera. Um, I've looked at prices of PEEK, and it was like a lot. Uh, and hold on, let's go to McMaster Car. I mean, I know McMaster is not like the best place to get uh, uh, this stuff, but whatever. It's an easy way to do it. Let's see, rod, 1.5 inch diameter, 4 feet. Yeah, this says is per foot it's $160. So times about 4 feet. That's I think I told him 1K, not 2K. Um, let's see, 162 times four. Yeah, it's like $700, or sorry, 648. It's a lot of money. Um, yeah, only hundreds, not thousands. Yippee! Yeah, a tragedy, really. But if you need small bits of peak, maybe some bar ends and such. Yeah, I don't. I don't actually need it. I just like when you see it, you gotta grab it because it's expensive. Now, what did they pay? They paid 50 cents a pound for it. So probably nothing. Yeah, like $5. Probably. I don't know. It is what it is. Take out. I'm gonna de-steep my tea. What's the word? I don't. Whatever. I'm gonna take the tea bag out. But yeah, that was just unfortunate. They didn't have any actual metal there. Although, okay, actually, I remember telling you guys about this a while ago. When I first saw it. But the box of like mystery metal that was labeled like 170, and it's like a big bar of stainless. And they had a whole bunch of it in different diameters. I looked at it again. It was still there because who would buy that? I go live at the worst times. It's just because of you. It's just done to spite you. What can I say? But that box was still there. And something I noticed today was that it had a B3 on it. So I looked that up. Um, and I think it's possible that this is actually Hastelloy B3, all of those bars, which is a nickel molybdenum alloy, I think. Um, let me let's see. B3 alloy. Uh, yeah, Hastelloy B3. Um, blah blah blah. It's like super fancy bullshit. It's like some kind of a nickel alloy with it's like high resistance to pure hydrochloric, hydrobromic, and sulfuric acids. And it's like easy to weld or something. It's just, I think it's possible. It's possible. I'm not gonna say it's likely. I looked through some images of it, and it's possible that's what it is because it looks somewhat similar in color to some of the images I found, and the bars at the ends of them. You know how they like paint. If you guys don't know, I guess they the way that you identify, or a lot of material suppliers will identify materials to make sure it doesn't get mixed up, is uh I just kicked the camera again. My legs are too long. Um, the way that they identify is they paint the bar end with like a special color. So like, but I think it depends on the manufacturer. But like for example, O1 is like orange or whatever. Yeah, no. And then they just like spray paint the bar end. And so this one was yellow, or sorry, this one was blue and red. And just looking through the Google images, it seems like I found one image that did have the blue and red color code on the end. Um, So that's I don't know. I'm not going to say that's what it is. I'm I'm not going to get it. I'm tempted, but I'm not going to. I'm tempted, but I'm not going to because I don't need it. But it would be kind of sick. Uh, yeah, each supplier has different colors. That's why I'm not saying that's a guarantee. You got 6 meters of 303 bar in your car boot for the last year. Oh my gosh, that's a pretty funny one. Most scoutings do the same thing to mark poles of different lengths, but everyone uses their own colors. Yeah, I mean, why do you need to mark the lengths? Just like look at them or measure them, I guess. I don't know what you're doing. Ah, okay. Now then, um, yeah, we can talk about that later. Okay, the first thing we're going to do today, actually, is we're going to work on the tool post. Because when you pile them up, it's very easy to know the length from just the tip. Okay, fair enough. First thing we're going to do today is work on the tool post, and specifically the T-nut thud that it goes on. So at the end we have this T-nut, and they leave it oversized from the manufacturer. They intentionally make it like way oversized so that you can machine it down to spec for your personal lathe, because every lathe is going to be a little different. There's no standard for uh, the T-slot on that. So first thing first, we're gonna uh, take our crusty old Allen wrench. Oh, it wasn't even that tight. I thought this was really tight for some reason. Okay, pop the nut off. That down. And now we have our T-nut. I'm going to take the bolt out too. These things are actually quite nicely made. There's a big burr on the end of this thread, but it's not bad. It's got a nice domed end on it. Honestly, I'm kind of impressed with the quality for how little I paid for it. Because I paid like $100 for the whole set. Maybe 150, I don't remember. I can check Amazon. So let me pull off the cross slide real quick, and we can actually take a look at this. I almost just stuck my face in front of the camera to reach around for a wrench because I have brain damage. Okay, sorry, this is shitty content. I am just plopping this. Okay, so there we go. This is the compound. I should really get a better camera. Oh wait, is the radio loud? Is that what you're saying? Or are you just saying that's what the radio IRL is doing? It would be kind of cool to control it independently. I mean, you could also just do that by turning on your own music. Oh, you have the radio on your end. Okay, okay. Okay, yeah, I should really get a better camera other than just my phone. Because when I zoom in, it's not going to look very good. I can't believe, by the way, I don't know why you guys put up with my shit. Hey, Jane, how's it going? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm actually so big that I got knockoff merch of me being sold in grocery stores. It's crazy, right? You wouldn't think that the scalpers would target someone as small as me, but here we are. Wow, this is it's actually a very tight fit. We're gonna have to take off a lot of material. Um, it's the label says it's ties merch. You're right. You're right. Let me put that up here. Okay. By the way, it's crazy that you guys put up with me because like I streamed with a webcam for like a year, for like 6 months, and it was worse than this. It's like this is already pretty crunchy. What the fuck? Why are you guys okay with this? Anyway, so basically uh we need to make this thing fit into this slot. Boop, like so, like that. Oh, it's not for your jokes. Damn. Ouch. So let's go ahead and take a couple of measurements. Yeah, this thing it is quite oversized, and it's actually going to be a very thin fit in that. Kind of wondering if I got one that was a little bit too big for this lathe, but whatever, it's fine. Here, let me actually, hold on, I'm going to tilt the camera in a way that's not forcing me to put the thing in the middle of the table, so I can actually see what the hell is going on. Okay. There we go. So, let's take a little measurement of the C-slot. Let me grab a notebook and a pencil so we can actually draw this out. Just for the sake of explanation. Where the hell's my pencil? There we go. Do. Okay. Okay. Let's zoom out a little bit. Do. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, that's why my mic is quiet. It randomly got turned to the -6 setting on the gain. Okay, well, that's cool. That makes more sense now. Okay, that's a little bit better, I think, hopefully. When is the next fire? I don't know. It's been a hot minute since anyone's redeemed it. I feel like there's someone has enough points and they just haven't done it yet. That's like the only explanation I have for this. Let me flip you guys around as well. Flip horizontal, transform, flip vertical. Okay, so now when I write, it's, wow, that looks really shitty. Whatever, you guys can put up with it, right? Smile. Okay, so, we've got a thing like, we've got a slot like this. Okay, and then the distance between these 2 points is 0.33. Yeah, I'm gonna study for finals. I need some peer pressure for focusing. Yes, and then it's fire time. That would be a great way to make me focus, honestly. Okay, so that is 0.33. And then we need that's like 1.3. So let's see here. Sorry, 1.03. Okay. How can does italics? If I remember right, it's slash me. Or is it slash? I don't remember. It is /me. Yay! I was right. I spent too much time on this website. Okay, and our T-nut is. Oh, hey, Jane! Thank you for the gifted sub to Reptile. Appreciate ya. Realizes how. Yes, you did it. Congratulations. Okay, so our current profile is. Let's see. So what we need, what we have. We have a box which is 0.5. Just supporting the fire effort. Reverse firefighter. Well, I appreciate it. Um, by, let's see, 1.875. Okay. 1.875. Okay. So, this is what we need to do. This is what we have. And some quality artwork. Thank you. Thank you. This is, yeah, I've spent years practicing. What can I say? Let's see. Actually, the width here is 5/8, so 0.625. 0.625. Okay. So, what size is this thread? Probably something metric. Yeah, that's 14 millimeters. Yeah, this thread, it looks to be M14. I mean, it doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, Jane didn't start the fire. Oh, that's the next song I should do. I'll be honest with you guys. Ever since I started like doing a different song at each beginning of stream, I've been thinking like, oh God, I'm gonna run out of songs. I'm gonna run out of songs. I don't know that many songs. But that might be the next one. I have not listened to that one in a while, but it's a good one. I had a phase. I don't want to say phase. It's not a phase, Mom. There was a time where I listened to that one on repeat for many, many hours. Or like it was the way. Okay, the way that I listen to music is kind of weird. Normally, I just don't. First off, is that why I never stream? Hey, listen, I've been streaming. I've streamed like 10 times in the last month or something. I don't know. Let's check Twitch. What does Twitch say? How many times have I streamed? Uh, Wait, this only says 5. Oh, I thought it was a lot more than that for some reason, but no, it's definitely not. Okay, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. um. Oh shoot, my brain is gone now. Oh, yeah. The way that I listen to music is really weird, and I think it's just autism. But like, I find a song and then I listen to it on repeat for months, months and months and months, and I don't listen to music like a lot, like at work, because I get too distracted. Um, uh, Instead, I watch streams, which gets me even more distracted. But anyway, like the way that I do it is like I do one song like as I go to bed. Just I don't know why I started doing that, but I do. And so for a very long time there, it was We Didn't Start the Fire. Um, so I should do that one. That's a good one. Right now, it is 16 Tons by the cover of it by Jeff Castellucci or something. Suddenly you know. Oh, yucky. Yeah, that's what we in the business call suboptimal. Okay, so there are a couple of ways we could do this. Um, Probably the stupidest way, and maybe the way that I'm gonna do because it sounds like fun, is use the surface grinder. I might use an angle grinder to roughly chop it in half, or chop off some of the excess material. But to finish it, smoke them if you got them. I have a surface grinder, so I think that's what we're going to do. Even though an angle grinder finish would be perfectly fine, perfectly acceptable, I should say. It's not fine. So let me grab a scribe, and by a scribe I mean this old pin punch that I put in a drill chuck and used an angle grinder to put a point onto it. So we need to chop off. Here, I don't want to do math. Um, let's see. I mean, it's basically for clearance reasons. Let's just call it. What would that be? 5/16? Nope, 7/16. It's going to be half of 875. Um, yeah, 7/16. Okay, so let's set the calipers to 7/16. So that is 4.375. Okay, lock it down. Now we take this, and then we very poorly... Oh boy, we're gonna have to remove a lot of material. I meant to do this, by the way, I meant to do this with the mills at work, with the proper machines to do this, but I just didn't over the weekend. I did other shit. Hold on, let me grab a Sharpie, because that is impossible to see. Okay, so I'm just going to blue up the surface here, and then we'll scribe our line in the Sharpie. Wow, that's still impossible to see. Probably because it wasn't dry yet before I did that. Dry already. Okay, let's do the other side. Let's just this is called, by the way, this is what's called poor man's dichem. Dichem is this it's this weird blue stuff. It's kind of like a, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's this stuff that people used to use back in the olden days, before all this fancy CNC nonsense. Um, they used to use it a lot for layout. It's called layout blue. Dichem is the brand. Um, but it basically leaves it leaves a film of blue, uh, like ink, paint stuff on it. And then you can use a sharp scribe to leave a permanent mark in it, and it'll show up really clearly. But you can kind of substitute it with a Sharpie. It's just not as good. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you guys see the layout mark? I think it's still commonly used in watchmaking, if I'm not mistaken, because watchmaking uses a lot of hand fitting stuff. So also this actually might be kind of hard. It's not really biting. It kind of is. Maybe that was a skill issue. Yeah, it was probably a skill issue. Hmm. Oh yeah, also scraping. It's also commonly used for scraping. Although I thought you usually use Prussian blue for that, like the stuff that doesn't dry. I could be wrong. I've never done either. I don't remember. It's been a minute since I watched a video on scraping. And I probably should, because this lathe I actually discovered after stream yesterday. In the in a VC, I discovered that this lathe actually has a lot of wear on the bed, that I did not know about before, because I put the carriage on and then I put an indicator on it. At the end, at the tailstock end, at the very extreme, there is like no play, like maybe half a thou. And it's like barely. But at the end near the headstock, there's like 5 to 6 thou of play. Like you can pick the carriage up and wiggle it around, and you can see the indicator move 5 thou. It's pretty bad. So I might, I don't really know what I'm going to do about that. I might just ignore the problem, if I'm being honest, because it doesn't really matter for what I'm planning on doing. But it does make me sad. Because that's a lot to scrape away. 5 thou is like a mile in terms of scraping. So I'm tempted to try some cursed shit with putting a grinding wheel in our large uh, mill and flattening it that way, but we're not there yet. I'm not doing it yet. Just maybe. Okay. Sorry, just checking this out. Okay. Let's unzoom. Ooh, you're upside down now. Ooh. There we go. Okay. Uh, yeah, let's bust out the angle grinder and get to work. Let me put my calipers back in the case over here. Let's put this guy back over here. Let's see. Thought, why is it stuck? Oh, okay. Ankle grinder. Grinder? I hardly know her. And then this is the part where someone plays where you play a what's it called? Laugh track. I should get a soundboard, actually. I should set up like a blurb and all those funny things, because it's funny. Okay. Come here, you rat bastard. Okay. Nope, there goes a file. Okay. This is my very high-tech bench vise. You'll notice that it has no jaws, and that's because two or three of the screws that were holding them on broke at some point in its life, and so I took them off. And then I meant to try and get the screws out, and then I just haven't yet. Uh, you'll notice that is a running theme here. I meant to do this thing 5 years ago, and I just haven't. How do I do this in such a way that doesn't just blow grinding dust all over my computer? You can DIY a machine scraper from one of those oscillating saws. It's much more reasonable to take 5 out. Yeah, that's true. I don't know if I want to do it though, just because that's such a long, arduous project, you know? Like, that's a lot of work. Scraping takes forever. I don't even have a surface plate, dude. Let me scoot this back. Here. Okay. Uh, oops, that's the wrong button. Oh. Ty, hello, hello. Thank you for the 10-month resub. Holy shit. 10-month anniversary. Wow. Hi, hello. You came just in time for the fun part. Where the fun part is maybe fucking something up. I should have done it work properly, but I didn't. So now we're doing it janky. God, this damn vice is. I remember why I didn't bother fixing it. It's because the swivel base is ass, and also because I don't have a place to mount it. Let's see. You can see I just bolted to this. Let's try that again. I just bolted it to this 2x6, and I've just made that work for now. And by for now, I mean for the last several years, because I have not bothered to fix it. Having mildly murked myself, I now get to watch the fun part. Old granite countertop staples, if you ask nicely. That is probably the way that I would go because it's so cheap. I would have to look into that. I did consider that option at some point. Yeah, what do you mean mildly murked yourself? Let's see. Let's grab the extension cord. You know something else that I've been meaning to do for like a while now? I have this extension cord reel. Like, you know the pneumatic hose reels that like come down from the ceiling and it'll stay wherever you put it, and then you can retract it back up in the ceiling out of the way. Yeah, I have one of those. It's in the box and it has never been taken out for like a year. You're gonna have to send me around to it so you can finally get one for all your projects. Well, thank you. God knows I need one. That's good. Almost 8.5 5. Yes, good job. 8.5 hours of streaming. Yeah, that is taxing. Jesus, dude. All right. Wait. Wait a minute. Is the audio suppression not working? Why does it sound like talking? Okay, I think there's something wrong with you, but like, wait, isn't the noise suppression on? Sparks go with the camera. Well, the camera doesn't have the microphone. Also, hello, monkey turtle. You know, the audio suppression is doing great. I thought I saw a big thing, like I thought I saw the audio meter spiking. Okay, whatever. God, I need a bandsaw, dude, and a vise. Ow, 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 ow. Hey guys, did you know that grinding things gets hot? Because clearly I didn't. Go in, fucker. Go in the vise. Clamp harder. I should get my stroke. You can hear the grinding occasionally. It's generally pretty good, and occasional peak isn't that bad. Well, I have a compressor and a limiter set up, so the peaks shouldn't be that bad. It sounds like talking gets expression. Let's put enough, whatever. It sounds close enough to talk. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I know you're not going to understand this, but that's going to be hot. Yes, indeed. Indubitably. Thank you for the note. I will keep that in mind. God, it's close. Hold on, let's keep going. Well, maybe not that direction, because that's going to send sparks at my computer. Uh, oh, that's still a lot of material left over. Okay, it's fine. Woo! Okay, don't like that. Not a fan of that. Never had that happen to me before. Don't like. Me no likey. If you couldn't tell, it kind of grabbed and like tried to suck itself into the workpiece. Or I guess the workpiece tried to get sucked into the grinding wheel. Let's grab a clean. Let's maybe do this correctly. This is why you don't fuck around with angle grinders. Oh god. See, I think really I'm just providing valuable lessons to the Twitch community, which otherwise would have no idea what good safety practices would be. I'm really just providing the bad examples so that they know what not to do. I'm doing a service to people. There we go. Okay, that's one side done. 2 for 2 with doing sketchy shit and having a whoopsie. Yeah, yeah. Listen, in all fairness, I could have done this by grabbing it with my hands. Okay, there's worse. I did grab a proper bench vise. Problem is the bench vise wasn't clamped. Okay, now on to the other side. How do I direct the sparks that way? Oh, you know what? Okay, this will be much easier if I flip the whole setup 180. So you guys come over here. Hold on. This will be a lot easier if I do this, because then I don't have to like direct the sparks in a specific way. Well, I do, but like it'll be easier. I want more space, man. I wish I had more room, and I also wish I was not such a shit cameraman. All right. Okay, so now this setup comes over here. I should really just flip the table once. That's fine. Yeah, when you think about it, um, I mean, I don't know. You guys remember Goofus and Gallant? I remember these. It's these two characters from this one magazine thing. I want to say it was Life magazine for kids or something. Um, but it was these two brothers. One was named Goofus and one was named Gallant. And Goofus was the troublemaker. Goofus was the one who did whatever the bad thing was of the day, and then Gallant would make up for it. And then you would have And then, there would be the whole lesson like, oh, don't be a goofus, kids. Always be a gallant. Be like gallant. That kind of a message. When you think about it, I'm really just the goofus of safety on Twitch. Hmm. That's my role in this world. Time to put Braxing's Yuri GIF in Minecraft? Hell yes, dude. That's awesome. Hold on, let me make sure I'm. Other problem with having a big camera is that now I have to go behind it to drink my tea. Highlights for kids. That was it. Yes, yes, I did get those. Fuck. Okay, I am not the first owner of this bench vise, but the previous owner took like a hammer or a pliers or a wrench or something to the locking handle of the swivel thing, and so it's all bent out of shape, and that means that it doesn't fucking work. Like you can't loosen it fully because it's all bent, and you can't pass it all the way through, and then you can't. Where is the end of rotation of this thing? What the fuck is happening here? It rotates. What the fucking? This is pissing me off so much. Hold on. Should we go on a side tangent? No, no, we should not. Oh, I got it figured out. We got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. This is just as big of a day as when we finally got Osama bin Laden. Hence the reference. This is such a this is a beautiful day for America or something. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just saying words. Who gave me a microphone? I know the answer to that one. I gave me a microphone. Okay, I'm gonna you know what? Let me put on safety glasses actually. Hold on. You feel like complaining about your space. You look at ClickSpring's workshop, and then you feel incompetent. Yeah, that's the real thing. You look at ClickSpring's workshop, ClickSpring's tools, ClickSpring's anything, and then you feel incompetent. And it's like his videography, his like fucking anything. His whole thing is just making people feel incompetent. And he does a beautiful job of it, as he does with everything. Ah, the problem with mask plus safety glasses is now it's fogging. Now it's actually harder to see. Okay, great. Yeah. What if I just do? No, it's not gonna work. Like this. That kind of works. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scribe the line with the grinder basically so that it's easier to see because right now it's very dim because I have the lighting facing me because I'm stupid. Um, so I'm just trying to get it close to the line but not go too far over it. I figured, I might as well explain a little bit of what I'm doing here. Because this is kind of how I work with an angle grinder. Um, and this is kind of how I explained, I told people to do it at the like safety tool training thing that I did. Uh, the way that I work is instead of like plunging to full depth and then just slowly feeding across with the grinder, because that leads to kickback, as we saw earlier. Um, the way that I do it is I scribe like a little line. I take the grinder and I just mark the line where I want to cut, and then that kind of guides it as I go deeper and deeper. And you just take subsequent passes, just going back and forth, just going a little bit deeper each time, and it stays roughly on that line. It's an angle grinder. It's never going to be a precise tool, but the wheel will follow that previous cut. And if it gets too deep, then you switch to the other side, like I was trying to do. Oh wait, Polar, hello, hello. Thank you for the follow. Hello. Hope your lathing is going well. Thank you for getting the pig. We'll see. Lathing is currently not happening, but we will find out. I makes better looking parts than I do with tools you could feasibly make before they used our calendar. Yeah, seriously, man. He's ridiculous. Hi, hi. Yeah, ClickSpring is great. His stuff takes forever. Uh, for a good reason, because that quality like that takes time. But he's a very cool guy. Hey, more kickback. Jesus Christ. This is why you don't cut deep with an angle grinder. I should not be pushing my luck like this. Wasn't even going that deep. What the fuck? What the fuck was that? I was trying to be safe with that. What the? Ugh. Sometimes it just doesn't want to. It's a. What the fuck is this? All right, well, we're making our way through it anyway. I'm gonna flip it to the other side so I'm not digging quite as deep. Also, sorry, I'm just like not talking, but I think if I tried to talk, the angle grinder sounds would drown me out anyway, and it would sound like shit. Okay, there we go. Jesus, that makes a mess. Holy shit. I forget every time how much of a mess that makes. Yeah. No, yeah, gloves are bad. Yeah. Wait, what's this? If you move the machine, then no glove when the machine moves you. I like that. That's a good way to say it. This is a no glove household. Also, I don't like gloves because they feel weird on my skin. Okay. Well, that is a very uneven cut. I don't know what I was expecting, but it's very uneven. Okay. uh, Here's the thing. Let's see, how off is the width? It's actually not that far off if you squint. Okay. Um, I guess next step is surface grinder, which is such a ridiculous use of a surface grinder. Uh, Smoke them if you got them, and I've got them. So, let me kick. I'll put here. Actually, let me just put the plastic parts away properly. Probably. Oh, dude, I've got this tube. I've got this cardboard tube that from something. I don't even remember what at this point, but I just haven't used it, and it's just been sitting there. That's perfect. Yes. Well, that can go in there. I don't know if you guys can see what the hell I'm doing, but I'm putting the plastic that I got from the mystery store away. And then this stuff can go. I don't know. It can go over here, I guess. Well, no, it can go up top too. Well, there. Yeah, let's put it over here. Okay. You wear latex gloves and your dermatitis flares up and it feels wrong. Yeah, it sounds about right. Yeah, I'm just plugging in my heater over here. Yeah, I've used latex gloves in the past for like some of the lathe work when it's like, oh, I'm gonna be dealing with nasty chemicals. But God, I hate it. I hate it so much. It sucks because they just, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. They feel bad. It feels like there's skin on my skin. Ugh. Like I'll use them if I have to, but if I don't have to, I won't. And in most contexts, even if I should, I don't. Like welding gloves are different because they're so bulky. It's like, and also you're gonna have a bad time if you don't use welding gloves. So I'll obviously use those. Really nasty allergic reaction to your coolant a couple of years back. It's got an ongoing bad outburst. That's rough, dude. I've heard of that happening. Obviously it hasn't happened to me, but I've heard of that happening to some people. And no, thank you. No, thank you at all. Okay, let's see here. Unfortunate thing is I can't use the dust collection right now because my shop vac doesn't have a filter. I've tried several times to get filters. Um, One time I got one that it's like, oh, it's labeled as a universal fit, and it looked like it would fit, and it doesn't. The next time, I looked around like a little bit at locally, and I didn't find one at Home Depot. But then the next time, I went to a Lowe's to get something specific that I couldn't get at Home Depot, um, and they had ones that were literally shop vac brand, labeled as compatible with Craftsman shop vacs, and you've heard all those excuses I just used from other guys. Yeah. Wait. Your arms swelled up and went right from your hand to my L-box. Not your L-box. That's bad, dude. That sucks. What excuses? I already forgot what I was saying. I don't know. I just don't like them. Um, and I know it's not correct, but whatever. Anyway, this time it specifically says it's compatible with Craftsman brand shop vacs. And then I get home and I try to put it on, and it's like 2 inches too short. So at this point, I'm fucking pissed because I this has been like a month of not constant, but like messing with it back and forth. Um, so I need to print an adapter to make the shop vac filters I can get work with mine because apparently mine is too old and it's weird. It's got weird filters on it or something. Why is this stuck? There we go. Uh, this is a fine place to do it, right? Um, but anyway, the point of that story is no shop vac, which means it's gonna make a massive fucking mess. Unless I do something, we could rig up like a little thing with a rag. Actually, let's try that. Something that I've seen a lot of like bigger shop vacs, a lot of bigger surface grinders do is um they are not bigger surface grinders. Others people with surface grinders, they'll put a damp rag in the path of the sparks such that it will uh hopefully catch most of them. It seems to work okay, so we might try something like that. Okay, plug that guy in, turn that on. Okay. It's actually not as loud as I remember it being. There's something going on with the pulleys. Sounds kind of weird. Hold on. It's been a hot minute since we actually used this thing. We good? I think we're good. I'm gonna put more oil in it. Let me put the pulley cover back on because that seems fine. Yeah, the shop vac thing pisses me off because I don't know. This is my mom's shop vac. She's had it forever. I want to say my grandpa gave it to her like before he died. I didn't know the guy, but yeah. Hey Alex, welcome back. We are we're working on putting the new tool post that I got onto the lathe. So we're just machining the T-nut down, and this is very much overkill and excessive. Um, but I own a surface grinder, so I'm going to use a surface grinder. Hold on, I gotta rearrange the shop a little bit to actually get this out. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Let's scoot you guys over here. Let me grab the oil. I should really label which one of these is whey oil and which one is thread cutting oil. I know this one is whey oil right now, but I'll forget at some point. Let's see, that one, this guy gets spindle oil. Um, this guy gets whey oil. That one's already full. You could use some more. It's just gonna drip out onto the floor in a few days. So re I need to fix the wicks on this thing. Okay. What else needs oil? More things than this need oil, don't they? Maybe not. Maybe I'm crazy. This is kind of tight. Why is it kind of hard to turn? Hmm. I don't remember adjusting the gibs to be that tight. Maybe I did. Let me grab a flathead screwdriver and just play with the gibs a little bit. Like this one. You're playing My Summer Car and it's annoying as fuck. That sounds about right. That's what I've heard from that game. How's this? That didn't change a damn thing. So it's kind of tight in the middle. Maybe it needs more oil. Hmm. Or needs to wick down more. Maybe actually let's just clean the ways. That'd probably be smart. Let's grab a rag. Clean the underside of them. And with the other side. And you guys can't see a goddamn thing I'm doing. So it just feels like a little bit tighter than I remember it being, and so I'm just cleaning out the ways. It's like maybe there's some gunk in there. I don't know. Might as well. It's cheap insurance, really. Still kind of tight. It's not as bad though. Okay. Oop, and I kicked the tripod. Tighten the gib screws down, back them off a little bit. Now it's actually kind of tight. A little bit too tight. Maybe it's okay. Okay. That's pretty good. That's nice and free. Cause I'm free. Free falling. More oil. Okay. That's fine. That's acceptable. Okay. Now let's put this over here. Oh, Ed's starting in 1 minute. Let's grab the spindle oil, which is that, not that. It's this. Okay, and then you refill this guy. Very slowly because this stuff is kind of thick. And I think I clogged the tip of this needle. Okay. Okay, let's actually let it run for a minute or two. Here, this is a shitty place for it. Why does it kind of sound? I don't know why it kind of sounds like it's rubbing. It's mildly concerning. Oh, oh, that's interesting. Huh? Wait a minute. I think the spindle. Wait a minute. The pulley cover is rubbing on the belt, on the pulleys. That's a problem. Hold on. I just loosened the nut on the back side, the little wing nut, to take the pulley cover off, and it just stopped doing that. So I think the pulley cover is actually clamping onto the pulley. Oh, it totally is. What the fuck? I guess maybe I need to put another washer there. There's a washer here. Let me show you guys. Let's see. Is it actually visible? Yeah. You can see that mark where it was rubbing the contacting the pulley. So I think each one of these studs where it mounts has a washer on it. I think I need to put another one on that one because that's not supposed to happen. That's not supposed to happen. But for right now, we will just leave it off. Yeah, that's much smoother. That was it. Okay then. Okay. So, let's take a look at the grinding wheel box. I don't. I'm still learning a lot about grinding wheels, and everything. So I think for roughing, we want something with a large grit size and a high hardness, so it doesn't just break apart. If I remember right, hold on, let's actually Google this real quick. Um, surface grinding grinding wheel uh hardness. Oh wait, selection chart would be kind of sick actually. Let's see, understanding grinding wheel hardness. Typical weak bond would be in the FG or H range. Stronger bond in the Q or T range. Okay, so as we go up the alphabet, the hardness of the bond goes up. So this is an H wheel, which means it's soft. So we want something a little harder than this. Let's see what else we've got in the box. Okay, we've got a 60J white, but it's like a cup wheel. We don't want to use that. Let's see. This guy's an 80K pink. That is a medium. Okay, so we're getting there. So this is an 80K pink. Bum, 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 bum. Resin, bonded. Sorry, I am trying to make sure I'm not doing something stupid. Selection chart. Here we go. Uh, oh, this is like a product selector. I don't want that. Okay. Yeah, I don't want that. Let's just look for a higher hardness one. And it's not. Ideally, we want the highest hardness that we can get. And there's a joke in there somewhere. Okay, this is a 46J, which is a medium. We're getting closer. This is a 60H. That's softer. This is a 46H. This is, I guess, a 60H8. I don't know what the 8 means, but that is not what we want. Okay, so the best one we're going to get is the 46J. Okay. Well, not K, J. Oh, wait, I'm now a Minecraft painting? Wait a minute. What? Wait, I need to see it. Wait, am I stupid? Oh my god, that image. Oh, I see. I see it. Oh, that's a really funny image. It's so small. I guess you need it to be for Minecraft pixelated. Not that screenshot. You're so refreshing that it. Okay, yeah, that's what I was confused by. I see it now, though. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, that's pretty sick. Let's see. So, next step. I brought home the arbor specifically for this purpose. So let's unscrew this. Okay, so you want to clean the taper nice and thoroughly. Clean the spindle. It's nice and warm now, so that's what we want. That's good. Okay. I mean, it's also warm because my fingers are fucking freezing. It's cold out here. Okay, now what did I do with the nut? Oh shit, what did I do with that? I took it off, and then I did something with it. Um, what did I do with it? I have the memory of a goldfish and the foresight of mm, I don't know where that sentence was going. Actually, what did I do with this? Oh my god, I'm actually just so dumb. It's on my laptop. Okay. So now we take a mallet. What is it? Which one of the images on the lathe info page most resembles yours? Let's take a look. The first one is pretty close. No, the second one is closer. Yes, number 2. Yeah, that is the F10 H30. Mine is an F10H 48, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, yeah, the second image. The one that's labeled like circa 1940. Yeah, Series 10, I believe. Okay, let's see. What did I do with my little chunk of brass that I use for tapping things around? Where is that? Where'd that go? This is good content. Okay, what that's or did I, oh, there it is. Again, intelligence of a goldfish. Okay. So now we're just gonna gently tap that to lock the arbor onto the spindle. Here, let me actually here. Come on in. You're coming with me. I'm just grabbing you. I can't wait to have the lathe done so that I can maybe get like a more consistent angle and stuff on stream that rather than like just grabbing the camera just and throwing you guys around. Okay, we actually need to go up. Ah, I just pinched myself. Very stupid. Okay. The washer on. Put the nut on. Did I actually start bleeding from that? I did. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. So now that's locked on. Put our mallet back and a piece of brass over here. You know what I should have done? I'm now realizing this. I should have rough cut the first side and then grabbed it with the vise, um, made it parallel before angle grinding the second side, because now I don't have any parallel reference edges. Oh well. We'll make it work. As is tradition. Let me see here. This needs to go up like a lot. I don't know if I'm getting weaker or if this got heavier. You know what I should probably do before we do all of this is put the feet down on the grinder. That's the wrong way. Cool. Let me back away so you guys can actually see a little bit of what's going on. We put these retractable casters onto the surface grinder so we can have it be mobile most of the time. But then when I need to actually use it, um, it puts these feet down and jacks the grinder up just like a little bit. So it's a nice solid foundation. And I can kind of level it because my garage floor is garbage. Okay, so I'm gonna get the one on the back. These things are really annoying to put up and down. I don't know why I thought we would be able to get to the tool post today, or actually making cuts today. Well, this sucks. Is it actually going down? Yes. Okay. Ah, nice and solid. Okay. Huh. Wait, what does it mean, welcome to the chat room? Wait a minute. Did OBS die? Hold on. It says I'm not live. No, it says I'm live. It just says, what the fuck? The chat just died. What the shit? Hold on, how do I refresh this? Okay, whatever. There you go. Whatever, Twitch, whatever you say. Okay, we're back. I don't know if I don't know if we were ever gone, but we are back. Okay, whatever. We move on. All right, so now we've got cheapo Chinesium grinding vise. Only the highest quality Shars tooling. Hey, Shars, if you want to sponsor me, I will shill. Okay. Actually, hold on. Let's stone the mag chuck first, because I'm noticing some dents. Okay, that's much better. Okay, actually, I actually need to put a band-aid on this one. It's still bleeding. Oh, that's a huge band-aid. I don't want that. It's like if you get yourself stabbed. Which is not out of the question here, but not what we want. Oh, guys, by the way, I had this idea. This is really stupid. I don't remember where this idea came from. Uh, but for uh, it's my birthday and my partner anniversary. Sorry, not partner. I am not partner. And my affiliate anniversary. Um, I had the thought of it'd be really funny to have a birthday-inator, um, where the whole point of it is that it just activates a bunch of random bullshit as soon as the clock strikes midnight the night beforehand. Um, so like a bunch of poppers, a bunch of I don't know what, like a little, the little twing, the little air horn tug thingies. I don't know what those are called. Um, I was thinking we might do that at some point because I think it would be funny. Another use case for cigarettes: instant small cut cauterizer. Genius. The medical industry. Oh shit balls. The medical industry could really learn a thing or two from smokers. They're truly the healthiest of us all. Okay. See, now you have me wondering if that would work and how well that would work. Open sesame. There we go. Where's our part? What did I do with it? Here it is. Okay. So Actually, let me grab a file and just quickly file some of these edges off because they are very sharp. Yeah, I really should have done this whole project at work. It would have been taking like 5 minutes. Oh well. You win some, you lose some. Okay. So what we're gonna do is grab a square and line this guy up to be square with the uh, it does. It works quite well on small cuts. It helps use stop mosquito bites from itching. You know, I've seen the mosquito thing with like a hot spoon or whatever, and that never worked for me. Um, I used to get absolutely demolished by mosquitoes, just eaten alive as a kid. And I've tried quite a few things to stop them from itching. Um, and the hot spoon thing never worked, but I bet you if you got it that hot, yeah, it would probably work. Okay, good enough. Okay. I do remember now that you say it. Oh, did it stop my audio again? No, it didn't. The music. The music, Jason. What does it mean? Except that's not the quote at all. No, it is still going. It's just quiet. Okay, it's fine. I just tried to move it, even though I spent like 5 minutes locking it in place. It's fine. Okay, so now gotta raise it up even more. All right, and now let's turn on the mag chuck first. That would be bad if I didn't. Okay. I should really let's see here. My arm in the way a little bit. Okay, let's lock that in place. Uh, can I stop some of the sparks from making a massive mess? Let's try some stuff real quick. Let's grab, I guess this rag. This rag is fine. And a mag base. And let's, I don't know, do something like this. Or, let's see here. Hold on, this is called problem solving. Guys, I'm so bad at streaming. Holy shit, why do you guys watch me? I want to get, I want to start doing simpler projects that don't require brain cells. Um, or maybe even if they do, I don't know, man. I need to get better because I feel bad for doing this shit because this sucks. No one knows what I'm doing. Very few people know what I'm doing. Some of you do. Very few people know what I'm doing. I'm bad at explaining it. Uh, it's not that interesting. Ew, what is that goop? Fuck. I need to be doing more just chatting stuff. I don't know. I need to get better. Okay. But I've got so much I need to get done. I kind of double dip by doing this and my projects at the same time. Scuff is life. I mean, Ty, it's not very polite to lie. Here, let's kick you guys over here because I think you'll be less in the way. Let's bump you down a little. I don't know, man. Camera work is hard. Okay. Okay, let's just take a pass across the whole thing. Oh, see, this is why. Well, that didn't work. The rag fell down immediately. Hold on, let's turn that off. Zip ties. Zip ties are always the answer. Where are my zip ties? They're not in the drawer labeled zip ties because I moved them. Because the drawer labeled zip ties was too full. I forgot. 4 inches. Yeah, 4 inch cable tie should be plenty. As they say, 4 inches is a lot, guys. Keep that one in mind. Haha, funny sex joke streamer. Hee hee. Yeah, kill me. Okay. If I poke a hole, can I actually poke a hole through this with the cable tie? No, I don't know why I thought that would work. A knife. What do you have? A knife. No. Yeah, fuck it. Let's just grab another cable tie. Why am I calling them cable ties? I just read the name, I guess. They're called zip ties. I know that's like a brand name. I think it's like a brand name, which is why the off-brand ones are called cable ties, but I don't know why I suddenly started doing that. Okay. Yeah, fuck. Is that a hole? Is that a pre-existing hole? Is that a pre-existing condition I can deny healthcare for? You know what? Hold on. Let's zoom you guys out. Pick you over here. Well, let's kick this over. I shouldn't have done that one. Like, I shouldn't have done this the way that I did. You could say that about a lot of my projects. Yeah, fucking shitballs. Hold on. Rather than get another zip tie, which would be the smart thing to do, I'm going to manipulate this one to undo itself so I can reuse it. Okay, come here. You go through here. Go through the fucking. I'm just saying noises. I'm not even. I'm not even. I'm barely even human. I'm only human after all. I'm not even human after all. This sucks. We should figure out a better solution for this. Okay, poke another hole through here. I just lost the hole that I poked through it. How did I do that? Okay, whatever. It's getting another hole through it. Okay. Certified, good enough, maybe. We'll see if that's good enough. When you're in a doing things the hard way competition and your opponent is me. Oh, what's up with the pirate flag? Oh, it just covers the window. It actually there's a bit of history with that flag. Also, hi Wabi. I was busy doing stupid shit, so I didn't see you. Um, there's a bit of history with that flag. It was actually when I had like my parents got me like a playground type thing when I was a kid, and that flag used to go on top of it, um, and hang out the side. But now it just covers the window, so I don't get to know what time of day it is. Okay, how is this for a camera angle? It's one of the camera angles of all time, that is for sure. It is still quite hard to move this back and forth. I don't really know why. It's fine. Okay. The reason I mounted it diagonally like this, by the way, this is something I once saw in a This Old Tony video. And I don't know how true this is. I've never heard this anywhere else. But what I was told, oh wait, hold on. Pause. I forgot. We need to put I forgot that I need to put the dial back on this thing. Uh the dial at the top that tells me how far the depth is. The set screw that it came with sucks. It's just bad. So I got a new one. And and what I mean is I stole one from the lathe so that I could use it really quickly. Um, and then I didn't get a new one, but now I have a new one. Hmm. So let's replace that guy really quick. Used to be a thumb screw. We'll probably make a new thumb wheel for it, honestly. That'll be fun. Once we have a lathe. And I love how this is the Lathe-a-thon. This is supposed to be a lathe-related project, and then I'm over here like, what if I use a surface grinder? What if I fabricated an excuse to use this machine that I paid too much money for? Okay. Hey, Sign, how's it going? Okay, let's try this one more time. Hold on, let me make sure that I didn't bump it down while I was doing that. Not really, that was the spark out pass. Oh yeah, but the reason I did it like that is because it reduces the amount of heat. I don't remember if I actually finished explaining myself before I said that. No, before I moved on. The reason I mounted it diagonally is because it reduces the amount of time that the grinding wheel is in contact with the work. And so in theory, let's take a two, no, let's take a 5 thou pass. Um, and so in theory, it prevents it from getting as hot because it's not uh, in contact all the time. Man, that wreck smells bad when it gets hot. It's almost like I should have used a new rag rather than one that's coated in God knows what. take another 5 thou. Why is this so hard to turn? This is the axis that's supposed to be really easy to move around. I don't know why it's so difficult right now. It's slightly concerning. Hmm. Okay, it's fine. I'm good. Just woke up from my nap. Oh, nice. That sounds good. Nap sounds nice right now. Okay, so but also this technique that I'm doing where I'm moving it back and forth really quickly, and I'm just stepping over a little bit. Like I'm right now I'm moving the workpiece back towards the thing a little bit at a time. This is what's known as peel grinding, uh, like banana peel. Um, and so basically, rather than taking full face contact with the wheel, where like I'm taking the full width, um, which kind of wears out the whole thing. Uh, you're wearing out just the corners of the wheel. Um, so in theory, anyway, it lasts longer. That does not feel like a 5 thou pass. Oops, I went the wrong way. It's kind of hard to get a hang of because if I move you guys back a little again, my hands are doing different things. So this hand is moving. This hand is moving back and forth, and then this hand is going in a constant direction, just different speeds. God, this is really hard to turn. What the fuck is going on here? Hmm. So it's like patting your head, rubbing your tumby, rubbing your tumby. You don't you hate it when you have to pat your head and rub your tumby? Also, I'm not used to manual surface grinders. The one at work has hydraulic power feed. Fuck. Is it moving? What is happening here? What is it? Hold on. Okay. No, this is pissing me off too much. It is way too difficult to turn that one. Turn that handle. Uh, that is way more difficult than it should be right now. What the fuck is happening here? Like I should not be hard. This should not be tiring. This one can be tiring, but this should not be take more torque than this. Um, let's let's mess with the Gibbs again, I guess. Okay, so I've loosened the Gibbs screws, which in theory makes this easier to move around. And now if I can I actually push the Gib out? Oh, I can't. Wait, what? What is happening? That was all of the Gibbs screws, wasn't it? Am I actually just stupid? In theory, I should just be able to push this the Gib out. What the fuck is happening here? Okay, it moves a little now. What shit am I looking at? Sorry, once again, I am going silent because I'm a shitty streamer. I am confusion. Uh, what the fuck? Okay, what happens if I take the gib out all the way? I'm confused because I'm loosening the screws that should be adjusting this, but it's not changing. And the plate that they're pushing on, which adjusts the play and how easy it is to move it back and forth, it's not really adjusting. Ooh, ooh. Hmm. Okay, well that would be why it's not really adjusting. It's hold on. Let's see here. That would explain why it's so difficult to move in the center and not on the edges. Um, I don't know if you guys can see the amount of wear. There's like a lot of scratch marks and stuff right here. Here, can I zoom you in? I don't know if you guys can see that. There's a big scratch mark here, and then there's like nothing there. So it's just I don't even know how that happened. Or when. Like I know how it happened. It happened because there was not enough oil. But like I just re-oiled it. Why the fuck? I guess I shouldn't have been pushing it. Hold on. Okay. Side project. Time to fix the machine to fix the machine. Let's turn this one off. Turn off the mag chuck, pull this guy off. Ah, it's too much dust. Hold on. Put that back in the case. Uh, hmm. I kind of want to pull this off. Um, and clean it and re-oil it and everything. Because I have a feeling that the oil passages are blocked or something. I don't know. Yay, side project. Yay. Yeah, this is like side project to the third power or something. I don't even know. It's like 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, but it's 7 degrees of side project. His like shittier cousin. Hold on, let's put this over here. Sorry, right now I am just cleaning up the table because I'm gonna pull the carriage off of that, and that weighs like 80 pounds. So I need a clean surface to place it down on. Let's grab pencils. All this shit goes over here. Grinder. I hardly know her. This goes over here. Come here. I'm fighting with the cord wrap thingy. Not the different from the cable tie or the zip tie. I mean, like one of those Velcro ones. I'm fighting with that. Okay. See, this guy goes over here. This guy. This guy. You can go back in the box. Over here. This guy. Impromptu hand cam. Yay. Where the fuck is my brush? Get like a proper uh dust kit. Christ, I forgot how messy angle grinding is. Get. Okay. Good enough. Okay, now here comes the fun part. Getting this thing off of the grinder. How do I show this? It's going to be painful no matter what I do. There's not a good way to show what I'm going to be doing. Whatever. I need to pop those stops off of here. I did this when I first got it. So I don't know why it's having problems now. I'm struggling to remember how to do it again. It's not this. I chose wrong. I remember now. Do you remember the 21st night of September? I showed you my life. Do you remember the 21st night of the day? Ba, ba, ba. Oh, yeah. Something to remember. Oh, yeah. Something to remember. Oh, yeah. Something. So now I should be able to just slide that off. No. Okay. Let's pop. Well, no, I don't want to take the mag chuck off of it. Okay. I think we just do it. Just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Don't let your side projects stay side projects. Make them the main project. Okay. 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 Hefty. Ooh. Yeah. It's a little crunchy. Hmm. What the fuck is happening to this thing? Okay. Okay. Let's tip this bad boy over. Easier said than done. I also don't want to put it on top of these oil ports because then I'll bend the shit out of them. Actually, can I just remove? Oh, I can remove the oil port. Oh, let's just do that. Ew. Why is there metal in here? What the shit? What the? Okay. Hold on, come here. Me when I fucking get you. Yeah. Let me tell you. Let me show you. Let me tell you something, son. What the fuck is this? Can camera focus? There we go. Thank you. Um, it looks like it's like a wire rope type thing. And then if you go on the inside of this, there should be like a little wick. I think they used a pipe cleaner as the wick. I think that's what I'm looking at here. Um, ooh, no. This looks like I'm pulling a parasite out of something. Which I guess a pipe cleaner isn't the worst way to do this. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm looking at here. Huh. Okay. I don't know how I feel about that solution. Um, I don't love it. Graphic 3 overlay where branches are text with the new side project. New branches can be added by chat through chat commands. That sounds awesome. That's actually a great idea. Graphic 3 overlay where branches are text with the side project. Yeah, so we just keep side projecting. We'll see how many layers deep we can get. Yeah, it's hilarious. I don't know what to do. I don't know how I feel. Oh, now there's oil dripping all over the fucking place. I don't know what I was expecting. Let's put that on a rag. Huh. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay. Yeah. Just jam something in there. She'll rock. Yeah, it'll be fine. Okay. So this is the oil port. This is the way the oil get. So the oil ports screw into here, and then feed down through here, and they should go to the ways. It looks like this one is super fucking dirty, and it's starting to wear down somehow. So that's cool. Let me grab a slightly dirtier rag. I need like 3 tiers of rags. Like one that's slightly dirty, one that's super dirty, one that's just absolutely filthy, and then one that's clean. That was 4. I know how to count. Okay. Um, so this, how the fuck? Wait, why is there a slot here? Oh no, that slot is how it gets retained. Okay, no, that makes sense. That slot makes sense on the side of the gear, the rack. The gear rack. Don't get any ideas. Um, okay. So, ugh. So this is the back side of it, right? This one looks pretty good. This one's crunchy. Heckin' crunchy. I don't know what. I'm gonna stop talking. Who gave me a microphone? Okay, so this is the gib, and it's super worn down. I don't know how to show you guys this. But it is extremely worn down in the center. There's a big step in it right here. And so, which makes it actually checks out that this is super worn down in the center, and then it's rough at the edges. That actually makes so much sense now. So as this was being used, it gets used primarily in the center, and then the edges don't get barely anywhere. And so as you keep adjusting the gib tighter and tighter in the center, the edges get worse and worse until you end up with this. I might actually need to take this to work and just face it, because it's pretty bad. I don't even know. Let me grab my calipers actually and measure it, because that's quite something. But it is doing its job. It's protecting the ways themselves from wearing down. Because if this was steel on steel contact, it would that wear would be permanent in the cast iron here. So the brass is doing its job. Let's see. So it is 3.05, or sorry, 0.305, and over here it is Jesus. It's like 0.31. It's like 0.314. So it's worn down like 10 thou. That's how large this step is. Is that even on camera? Yeah, it is. The clean rag is what we call a napkin. Cut up some shoelaces or a lantern wick. Yeah, I need to look for a lantern wick. Clearly I need some. Shoelaces also maybe, because I do need to replace my shoelaces. That'd be kind of perfect. Shitballs. Okay. This was not on my bingo card for what we would be doing today, you guys. Okay, so right here is clearanced, actually. This is not... I just realized this. I thought this surface was super rough for some reason, but no, it's actually clearanced. So only these parts are actually ways and actually bear on anything. So you can see the different tool marks. You have the surface ground marks here, and then the milling marks from where they just clearanced it a little bit. There's also some grease in the gear teeth. I actually don't know how to... What greases those gears? Or oils them? I guess just dripping oil from everything else? Hmm. Okay, so it looks like also... let me... Let's take you guys over here. Yeah, let's do this. So it looks like the other problem that we've been having... So it seems like the wicks were actually part of the problem, maybe, and specifically how shitty they were, and the lack of oil was causing issues. Um, like this wick is not wicking properly because it's a fucking pipe cleaner. Okay, okay, I think I have an understanding of what happened here. So this is like doing like forensics. I'm doing fucking forensics on this machine tool. We're doing the Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Dun dun. Okay, so what happened? Someone used a fucking pipe cleaner as an oil wick, right? It doesn't really wick properly because it's not continuous fiber. And so there's still... I can't show you guys because it's like dark. Or actually, I got my flashlight. Let's see. Um, so there's still like liquid oil down there, right? And it is wicking maybe a little bit. Right? If I poke this, I do get a little bit of oil, but it's not wicking very much. And that wick not only supplies... It supplies multiple things with oil. This is the one that went on the front here. Okay. So you can see by how dirty it is, that it was kind of wearing down. Also, I just realized that I was kind of touching the microphone with and while holding the flashlight with my chin. So that's... Whoops. Hope that wasn't too awful. Yeah, we're learning interesting things about the surface grinder's previous owner. Listen, the previous owner, he was a very nice guy. I talked to him for like an hour. He was super chill. It was obvious that he didn't know a whole lot about how to use this. He used it like a couple of times to surface an anvil, is what he told me. Um, but like he clearly did not know a whole lot about it, and like that's fair. You know, it happens. It is still in quite good shape. But anyway, what happened was not enough oil could get into here and into these oil grooves. And so they kind of clogged up with dust and dirt, is what it seems like, because there's a whole bunch of grit in here now. Yeah, you can see how black my hands are turning. Um, Whereas if I go over here, where it wasn't that bad, you know, it's still clean-ish oil, and there's a lot of oil in those channels. That little hole right there, there's actually a puddle of oil in there, as there should be. Over here, this shit's bone dry. Dry as the sun. That's that's not a saying. I just made that up. I'm just saying words. Um, uh, so, Christ, crutches. Okay. Okay, we need to clean all of this old bullshit out. Um, and then get new wicks. Okay, flatten the gib. Let me start writing a goddamn to-do list. You can see the wear on that, not pretty. Yeah, I know. Also, hello, Mallow. Apocalypse. Hi. Thanks for coming by. Yeah, I don't think it's that bad, actually. Like, I've seen worse. Hold on, let me put this over on the rag. I don't think it's actually that bad. Ooh, that is a pretty deep scratch right there. Ooh. Oh, that one's kind of gnarly. Yikes. Let me grab it. Before we keep talking, how about we actually clean this up? Let's see. So we have a better picture of what's going on. First time here and immediately hooked? Well, thank you, thank you. I'm glad to hear it. Ah, shit. There's a lot of jank. I'm doing my best here. My best is not very good. Uh, so, okay. Yeah, this is not ideal. I thought this was in better condition, honestly. Hmm. Yeah, that one groove is kind of nasty. There's also a big scratch right there. Hmm. Okay. So it's not great. I don't know if you guys, yeah, you can see this, hopefully. You can see how there's a bit of a pattern right there. I don't know exactly why that pattern is there, but more importantly, you can see that it's not there on this one, except for in this one spot right here. Let me zoom in. You can see how there's a similar pattern to this side in just this one little area. Let me grab something other than my fingers, my fat fingers to point with. Oh, and then there was an ad break. I don't know if they even heard me. Um, so right there, hopefully you can tell that it has the same look and pattern as this side. And there's some wear on this side too, right? If that pattern is kind of erased over here, but over here it's gone. It is gone. Which is not good. And then that scratch, ooh, that scratch is pretty gnarly. Yikes. Okay. Shitballs. One could call this suboptimal, even. There's some pretty decent scratches on this edge too, but it's fairly smooth in the center, which makes sense. That's where the oil was running. Okay. I don't know how these oil channels were cut. It almost looks like they were cut with a fucking die grinder. They're kind of gnarly. They're kind of thin too. Oh, this thing has been worn down quite a bit, huh? Oh, shitballs. Oh, Lord Almighty. Okay. You know what? This is what I get for buying old machines. And maybe grind marks. They're not grind marks. If only I had a machine that could fix the surface of it. You're so right. You know what? I'm now realizing. No, I did pull this off. I don't know how I didn't see this when I first got this machine. Um, okay. Ah, balls. Yuck. What the fuck is that? Sorry, I'm just poking this and it's actually squishing out oil. I don't know what that is. Oh, is that felt? Oh! Oh, wait a minute. That's actually supposed to be there. Okay, this is a felt oil wick because it wicks down to the way oil to the I guess in this case it's the Z axis. This slide. It wicks down to this slide underneath it. That's what happened. Okay. So that is actually supposed to be there. That's correct. Okay. Old machine gives paid in content. Indeed. Indeed. Might check the height on the parallels. Yeah, shitballs. You're not wrong. Uh, how do I... Okay, when you say check the height on the parallels, I guess you mean... Oh, balls, dude. I didn't think it was this bad at the first glance. Okay. Ugh. Because now I'm looking at it closer, and I think the grooves, the oil grooves on this side, are a lot thinner than on the other side. Fuck. Is this one of those lathes that dump oil and coolant on the part? No. You mean like a, so those are usually CNC lathes with like a coolant system. We're also looking at a surface grinder right now, but what did I do with that rag? It was in my hand, and now it's not. And that's all the information I have. Okay. Um, this is what's known in the industry as suboptimal. Genuinely, what did I do with that rag? Yeah, this one works. But yeah, some manual lathes have coolant systems, flood coolant systems. This is not one of them. Technically, this grinder does have an attachment that could do that. It's actually kind of a neat attachment, but um, yeah. Oh shit. Okay, let's grab a clean rag now. One's definitely going to be more and more than the other. You'll probably have to machine the high side down if it's not too bad, or add material and remachine. Yeah, balls. I think you might be right. Ah, yeah, we're on the side. God, yeah. Someone make a graph of how many layers deep into the side projects we are, please. Because like this is a lathe side project to make the tool post nut fit, and then we're on this we're using the surface grinder to do that, and then we're using, and now we're checking out the surface grinder, see what's wrong with it, and now it looks like I might have to fix this too. Fuck. Yeah, I think I might have to. I might actually have to remachine these. You might be right. Okay. Let's check it out with the grinding vise, because that's the only like precision flat surface that I have, such that it is. Okay. Make sure that's clean. Make sure these fuckers are clean. Oh, it's sitting on the screw head here. How did I not see this when I first got this machine? I like opened it up to this point. What was I doing? Holy shit, I'm dumb. It's only five. I mean, get away with shims, but your precision's going out the window. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. Um, I'm also somewhat amateur. Okay, let's take a look at this guy. What does the light gap show? Hold on, I need to kick you guys out of the way so I can actually see what the hell I'm doing. So right now, to be clear, I'm using the vise to bridge the two areas. Um, and then if it's depending on how it's crooked, I'll be able to see a light gap at a specific side. And then like maybe I can use like feeler gauges or something to figure it out to do something more precise. But I'm just trying to see it for right now. Okay, I don't even see it right there, which I guess makes sense because that's the least worn area. And then in the center, I still don't see anything actually. Maybe this method sucks. Okay. Yeah, this method sucks. Okay. Is it possible? Am I lucky enough? No, that's not how math works. That's not how it works. I can't do that. I was gonna say maybe I could grind these surfaces with the surface grinder, but that's not that's not how this machine works. Might have worn so bad it seated itself. I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna try and reference it with the spindle. That was gonna be my next thing. It's gonna put an indicator mounted to the column, and then we can measure it. Oh God, I just tripped over something. Okay, get out of here. So let's here, give me this. Let me grab my wire cutters. Let's take this apart. Shit. Guys, I'm so annoyed. I thought this machine was not going to be a project. At least not in this way. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. How did I not notice this when I was using it before? What the fuck is wrong with me? Okay. Oh, wait. Son of a... I can't even measure it from side to side because the side to side isn't on this. God fucking damn it. This is a mess. Hey, Kynaps, how's it going? Would it be better to ask what isn't wrong with me? Yes. It'd be more effective, more efficient with your time, that's for damn sure. Okay, so we can definitely check it. Um, let's bring this all the way over here. Okay, so that's the end of travel. Let's go a little bit closer. So what we're going to do right now is put an indicator on the ways here and then sweep it to the other way and just see what the difference is. Uh, God almighty. Nothing wrong with his devilish charm. That's a new one. Uh, only devil around here is in the details, man. Okay. So let's put indicator. Actually, you know what? You know what would be smarter is using the machine's kinematics. Hold on. Okay, so you guys are coming over here. Why did I lock the surface grinder into position right here, where there's a wall right next to me? So I guess I wasn't expecting this, in fairness. But, God, this is such a pain in the ass. Okay, you got Ori to play the Doom soundtrack. Nice. I hope you like my rendition. That will be for $30 or something. I don't know. If you have a long enough flat reference bridge between two, I could track the deviation between parallels with an angle finder. I don't have an angle finder. Problem. um, and honestly, if it's bad enough to be found with like a angle finder, then it's pretty far gone anyway. Okay. Oh shit, Mallow, thank you for the sub, dude. Appreciate you. That's very nice of you. Okay, so now we're moving our indicator down. Yeah, dude, I don't even know what to say. That's very nice of you. I appreciate that a lot. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna kick you guys back over here so you can see what's going on. So, let's preload it even more than that. Oh, that was the end of the travel. Okay. Wait, what is the travel of this thing? Oh, I guess that is 15,000 preload. That's kind of a lot. That's plenty. Okay. Let me grab my Allen wrench and re-zero the dial so we can get back to this exact position. I need more dials is the real thing. I need more indicators so I can tell what the fuck is going on. But alas, I am but a broke ass bitch. Okay, so that's 0 here. Lock that down. Okay. Now if I go back up and then I go back down, is it actually repeatable? I'd better fucking hope so. No. Why? I assume that my cheap ass indicator arm moved. Hold on, let's lock this down real nice and tight. Guten tight. Okay, so that's zeroed again. Doing better than you, all you have a shitty drill press. Listen, man, I don't have a drill press. That's the thing. This surface grinder was a really dumb purchase, and I fully admit that it was a questionable decision. But yeah, I don't have a drill press. I have a lathe and a surface grinder. I'm starting at the finish line. Okay. Okay. So now if we back off a bit, and then we go back to 0, is this actually a repeatable setup? Yes, okay. So now let's back off one full rotation of the hand wheel. Okay, and then we move over. Who up cranking the grinder? Kill me. Who gave me cognition? Why am I allowed to use English? Okay. I think you mean you kind of have a lathe and kind of have a surface grinder. How dare you? You're not wrong, but how dare you? Okay, that's the wrong direction. Okay, now bring it down to 0 on the hand wheel. Oh God. Okay, that's actually not too bad. I say that as if it's not 1.5 thou. Oh my God. Okay. It wasn't me this time. You're playing nice. Okay. So it's 1.5 thou difference. Um, that's a lot. Uh, shit. I wonder what the deviation is like on the saddle. I don't have a good way of measuring that over here. Actually, I don't have any way of measuring that. How the fuck? Balls, dude. Why do I do this? Uh, uh, you always flatten the top relative to the spindle. It is a problem because it's changing the axis of the um it's changing the way that the saddle sits on this. So that is a problem, I think. Okay, here's the thing though about this. This is small enough where I can fit this on the surface grinder at work and fix it. So I can actually fix this with relative ease. Um, it'll be a little difficult to fixture, but I can do it. God fucking damn it. I just want something to be easy. Can we just have something be easy and just work? Okay, hold on. Let's try. Maybe it was just measurement error. Maybe it was just measurement error. Let's try going all the way back up and moving over. And then if we bring it back down, it wasn't measurement error. Okay. Do I have access to a fly cutter and you could just remachine all the flats parallel at once? I could. I do have access to a fly cutter. I don't know if it goes that large of diameter. But like I have a surface grinder at work that'll do this, no problem. But actually, fly cutter might even be better. Oh, I'm so pissed. You know what? I bet these marks. I don't know if these marks were original. I think this might have been from someone else fly cutting it at some point and flattening it. And the reason I think that is because I know that these these washers that are they're kind of weird, right? They are for holding the table down to the ways. Um, they ride in a little slot in the gear rack that mates with this pinion that's off screen. Um, because I'm good at this. Here, there's a slot that goes in this gear rack, and that's how it gets retained down. And I did notice that there was quite a bit of play in it, um, which does explain some things. God fucking damn it, dude. Okay, um, I guess we should do a teardown on the rest of this machine and see what else is wrong. I didn't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Ugh. The way the one closest to the camera is sunk in, I think the middle makes think makeshift hardware. It's possible. You know, you've got a point there. I don't know. It doesn't look like a standard washer. I can't find a manual for this machine either. I did look. Um, so I don't know. I have no idea. Okay. Um, dude, this sucks. Yeah, if anyone can find a manual for this machine, I would love it. This is a Delta Rockwell Toolmaker's surface grinder from 1954 or 5 or something. It also overlaps the way. That strikes me as odd. Well, okay, this isn't a way though. If you're talking about this, or are you talking about how it overlaps here? No, that's how it's supposed to work though. It rides in this groove. Here, let me bring the camera over. It rides in this groove on the side of the gear rack. Um, zoom in. Uh, and so that prevents it from just like falling off the edge, or like tipping up or anything. So that part is intentional. Like that's what that is for. Because otherwise it wouldn't be able to do anything. That's I don't really see why a step between rail would be a problem as long as both rails parallel. The carriage will go straight. That's true. Um, the it depends on if this is worn down in the same way. Because if it's basically lapped itself to the same face, then it's not that big of a deal, I suppose. Um, I guess yeah, it's basically lapped itself into the same shape over time. Nothing's allowed to be easy, man. Not a damn thing. So I suppose I maybe it's not actually that bad. Um, it is a the way or sorry, the gib is definitely a problem. That definitely I will definitely be facing. Uh, it'll take like 30 seconds at work. I'll just oh wow, it's also kind of bowed. Hmm, fun. I mean, that's not a big deal. I can kind of bend it back. I don't know if you guys can see the amount of spring in that, but anyway, that's fine. That's not a big deal. But the face of it, that is a that is a problem. Um, okay, so I can take this to work, face it. It'll take like 30 seconds. That's not a big deal. Um, whether or not I need to do anything to the carriage, and I don't even know what the correct term for this is. The saddle, whatever. Whether I need to do anything to this guy or to the corresponding part on the grinder is another question. Uh, maybe it'll be okay, but it's really disappointing that it's like that. I'll need to get new wicks, oil wicks, because that's what caused this fucking mess. Um, so, uh, wait, what is it? Oh, wait, you found the manual? Yeah, but wait, post in the Discord and ping me. I will take that. Um, let's see. When the difference between flats, which cause a constant angle you have to compensate for and pray it's constant. Yes, yes and no. So, okay, Sparks, or sorry, Nutson. I got confused because orange name. Brain just said, oh, it's Sparks. No. Um, so Nutson, I do believe it is a potential problem because the gib adjusts for play in this direction, right? The left and right here. But the problem that we're seeing is in this direction, right? So these two faces are not parallel. Or sorry, they're not coplanar is the word for it. At least on the corresponding part. I have no way of checking this. I don't have a surface plate here, so I can't measure this. Um, but what that means is it's at an angle like cockeyed like this. And so while yes, we can adjust for the amount of play in it in this direction, we can't adjust for it in this direction. Um, so it may be a problem. It could turn because if it's definitely worn more in the center than on the edges, which means god damn it, which means that it's going to it's like sort of banana shaped, just like by a few thou, but it's sort of banana shaped, and so as it rides along it's going to do weird curvy things. I hope these visuals demonstrate my point. I think it could be a problem. I guess we can I'll do the easy thing and I will face that gib and flatten it out. And then we can check the parallelism afterwards, um, and see how bad that is. Parallelism. not the parallelism. We can check if the oh shit, Ori, hey Ori, thank you for the raid. We didn't get a raid message. Let's go, woohoo! Wait, hold on. Let me hold on. Slash shout out Oriana or thank you guys for the let's see. Thank you Desert Artificer for the follow. Hello, hello. Oh, you guys doing rock paper scissors? I didn't get a chance to look at what you guys were doing. Yeah, welcome in. If you guys don't know me, my name is Reddy. I'm a little alien VTuber, and I do a lot of makers and crafting stuff. Right now, we are working on, in theory, this is a Lathe-a-thon, but we're like 3 side projects deep right now. And so that means that we're working on a surface grinder instead, because apparently that has problems that I didn't know about. Um, Yay. Wahoo. So we're diagnosing problems with it. Oh hey, Otakoton. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming by. Um, uh, yeah, anyway, so we're currently diagnosing problems with the surface grinder and debating how much work I need to put into this. I'm trying to figure out what the shit is going on because it's got complicated geometry. Yeah, scope creep. That's what we're doing basically. Oh my god. Oh, Cogs, thank you for gifting sub to a taco. Hello, hello. I don't know why I said hello again, but thank you for coming by. Yeah, classic scope creep. Um, so yeah, let's see. If you got a raid and run, that's totally fine. Let me hold on. Wait, let me do the like proper Twitch streamer thing, streamer etiquette. If you got a raid and run, it's totally cool. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for trusting me with your community, and I hope you have a great day or something. I don't know. I'm doing it. We're figuring it out. Hey, Wolf. Okay. So yeah, what we've just been talking about is I went to use my surface grinder. Here, let me let's just flick you guys around here and zoom out. Okay. So this is a surface grinder, or most of a surface grinder. It makes things flat in theory. Um, so you move the carriage, which is what's sitting right over there. You move the carriage back and forth, and use this grinding wheel, and it makes them flat. However, we just discovered that the machine has problems, and so it's not going to make anything flat, probably, because there are problems. So, that's cool. That's great. We love that. We love problems. Will it work on silicon wafers? Yes, but not to the level that you want. For that, you need lapping. They use large lapping machines, and what are called dicing machines for that, actually, um, which are basically just large. I mean, some of them are extremely high precision, not surface grinders, really, but they are large grinding machines that take that are like insanely precise. Um, yeah, good old lapping tables. Uh, yeah, the finish you want is too fine for a surface grinder, I think. Because if you're talking about like atomic levels of flatness, this is not going to get you. It's not going to get you there. It'll get you most of the way there, but it will not get you all the way there. Um, and especially this one will not get you all the way there. This one has problems, as we've discovered. Basically, we realized that the over time, um, these two, you see these two shiny surfaces right here and here. They're supposed to be parallel and like they're supposed to be flat and coplanar, so that means like they're in the same like theoretical plane of existence. However, they are not because of just wear and tear, and because some dumbass used a pipe cleaner as a oil wick, and so the oil wasn't actually getting to these surfaces. So this surface specifically was not getting enough oil. So over time, it wore itself out into a weird shape. And this side and this side are different by a different. They are out of plane by a difference of 1.5 thou, which is one. Sorry, when I say a thou, that is 1,000th of an inch, so 0.001 inches. And for reference, a human hair is about 3 thou in diameter. So this is twice. This is about half as thin um, as a human hair, and that's actually a huge problem. This is actually a lot of wear and tear, so it's a problem. No, the dumbass was not me this time. Not this time. Uh, I just discovered it. I have to deal with it. um, but yeah, it's a big problem now, and I don't know what I'm gonna do about it. Luckily, I work as a machinist, so I can actually make some of the parts that need to be made and like maybe fix this. It's just a question of how. How bad of a problem is this? And when do I have time, really, is the big question. God, this sucks. Okay. Yeah, 1.5 thousand a mile over here in this land, especially for a precision surface like this. That's a mile. Like 1.5 thou for a part. You know, it depends on the part, but that it can be a mile. It can be like nothing. But for a surface like this, the that should be parallel. That is a mile and a half, really. I guess we can check the other surfaces. I can actually show you. So the way that we measure this is what's called a dial indicator. So if I zoom in, you see this little guy? It's got a little needle on it. And so as the dial moves, let's actually zero it again. That's the wrong direction. So each one of those tick marks that you see, each one of those is half a thou. So that is, you could fit 6 of those in one human hair. And so I've got it set to 0 right now. And so now when we move over to this surface, hold on, I've got to spin the thing. Whoop, let's grab that over here. Um, so if I move this guy over here, yeah, you can see that it is not on 0 anymore. In fact, it is 1.5 thou, not on 0, to be specific. Sorry, camera work is hard. I'm not good at it. That one looks more like 2 thou. No, it's 1.5. I just can't read. Ooh, over here though, it's like 2. Oh, yikes. Oh no, and then over here it's like 2.5. Oh my god. Okay, I don't know what I'm gonna do about this. Ah, shit. Yeah, it's only 5/10 increments. I didn't want to spend the extra like $100 or whatever it would be for a tenths indicator. So we're living with the poor man, the half thou indicator. It's good enough for most work. Okay, let's actually check over here because now I'm curious. Because the center here, where you just saw, this is the area that would get the most wear and tear over the machine's lifespan because it's in the center of the travel. So this area would get most use. So now, if we move the indicator over here, um, let's see what this is like. Let's wait. I forget which side I was on. Yeah, I'm on this side. Okay. So let's see here. Come here. I should really just have gotten myself like a nice high quality Noga arm, but nope. They cost like 3 times as much, so I didn't. But God, they're nice. Okay, so let's zero this guy out. That's about 0. Okay. So now let's take a look. You know what? I should be writing this down. Okay, whatever. I'm not writing it down. I have no way of measuring it left to right now. Otherwise, I would. And I probably would write it down. Okay. because I'm trying to make a map, basically. The reason I would write it down is to make a map of basically the surface, because we know that there's a lot of wear here, but we don't know where the wear is here. You know, let me just write it down anyway. Where's my Sharpie? What did I do with it? Here we go. Okay. So this is, if this is 0, this is minus 1.5, and then this is 0. That's minus 2. What the fuck? Wait, what? That doesn't even make sense. This is like minus 3. What? Hold on, let's go back over here. You need to get a half-tenth dial indicator? Yeah, great idea. But indicator on the device, slide the device on one rail while testing the other rail? Okay, yeah, you're not. That's a good way to do it. You're right. That is the correct way to do it. Okay, let's actually do exactly what he just said. Oh, big thumbnail. Thank you for the follow. Only work if your reference rail is verifiably flat? Yeah, but it's better than nothing. You know what's something we haven't done yet is stoned the ways. Let me grab my flat stones. God, these things were such a good investment. Holy shit, they've come in such good handy. They're such good handy. Yes, me English good. Such good handy. Yes. This was these two rocks were definitely worth the like 8 hours I spent. No, it was like 12. The 12 hours I spent lapping them. Okay, let's just wipe off our Sharpie marks. A little bit of IPA, not the beer. Isopropyl alcohol. Erases Sharpie. Is IPA is beer, right? Or is it like a technically separate type subcategory or something? I don't know shit about how that works. Okay. But yeah, we can make sure that these are at least somewhat flat and clean of burrs by taking it. Basically, I spent a very long time and I rubbed these rocks together for like 12 hours or so. Um, and what that did is it made them extremely flat. It's a whole process. But basically, what that means is now I can take them and I can rub them along this surface, and it'll only remove high spots. So it'll only take off problem areas, rather than like if you used a normal sharpening stone, which would just scratch the shit out of everything here, and I would kill you. I mean, honestly, it wouldn't make a difference at this point, but if you used a normal sharpening stone, it would damage it. Whereas these only improve the surface when used correctly. I stole this idea from someone else, to be clear. So now we take the other one. We do the same thing, just little strokes, little circles. And I can kind of feel when it's not flat in an area. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So now, I don't know if you can tell, there's actually a change in the surface finish in some areas. Uh, EPA, no, APA has no power over here. Let's see. Oh, you found the manual? Maybe? I was looking. Um, Let me see here. Oh, wait, I did find this a while ago. I think this is a slightly different model, but we can take a look at it anyway. Yeah, it is a different model because it has a different vertical travel hand wheel. Um, but it is close enough to work. let's see here. Um, sorry, I am pulling up crossfeed, screw, maintenance, replacing spindles for the bearings instead of pulley. Do. 146, part number 146. Bonding film. What do you mean Teflon tape? What century is this? What the fuck? Okay, we will look at that later. I should stop getting distracted. But thank you. I will take a look at that later. Mustard pickled eggs. What? I don't even know what that is. I don't know. I'm not okay. Here's a question for you guys. How much of an egg fan are you? Because I am one of the few, in my experience, who does not like eggs. Just in general, not a fan. Texture's weird. Taste is just like bleh. They're just funky. I have not liked them since I was like a little kid. Like I'm not gonna be whiny about it, right? Like if someone makes me eggs, I'm still gonna eat them at this point. Like in the past, I would have been like a little shithead. Um, you think they're excellent, of course. Um, in the past, I totally would have just absolutely refused to eat them, but turns out, uh, that you mature over time. Okay, okay. So let's try this. So we're gonna set the indicator up here instead. Hold on here. Let me move you guys over here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. And now the glare of the light is preventing you from seeing what I'm doing. What if I turn off the light? How much worse is that? Did that even help? No. Cool. Great. Lovely. Well, I can see the indicator face. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is just bring it into contact here, and then we can use the fine adjust here. Well, we gotta tighten this thing down nice and tight because it's shitty quality. Use the fine adjust to just barely bring it into contact. Okay, that's that's about zero. Okay, what did I do with the Sharpie? Here it is. Okay, so now we're gonna make a map of it basically. So if this is zero, that's a terrible zero. Zero, and then move it back. Wait, that's plus one. So that's plus one thou. Yeah, let's zoom. Okay. That's like 1.5 increments. So like, let's say that's plus 1.25. Now we're back at zero. What the fuck? Okay, it drops off dramatically right there. So like that's plus one, and then that's zero. What the fuck? Whoa, and I moved the whole vise. Okay, cool. Uh, that's actually kind of crazy how much it drops off in that one spot. Okay, hold on. Let's start over here. Come on. There we go. Okay. So that's our 0. Now let's move over a bit, just very carefully. Whoa! Why is that moving so much? Hold on. What in the fuck? That's 2 thou? 1.5. Why am I able to do that? Wait, that's not right. I'm pushing on a device with my fingers and it's doing that. Hmm. Ah, probably because I was tipping it over like a fucking moron. Yes, that would that would explain some things. Indeed, yes. Hold on, let's wipe that one away. Let's try this again. God, I wish I had a surface plate. Holy shit. Okay. Ah, fuck. Yeah, I'm a mess in more ways than one. Hold on, bring that to the center of the travel. Sorry, what I'm doing right now is I'm adjusting the indicator to the center. It has a fine adjust on it, because my, human hands are too fucking fat to do this reliably. So it has a fine adjust. This little knob here, which also if I poke it, you can see how much it twitches. So you got to be very careful with it. But I was trying to the fine adjust was at the end of its travel, so it wasn't actually able to adjust at all. So I was just fixing that. Okay, so if we let go, now that is, what does that even say? 2? What the fuck? Why is it +2? Now that's +3? Is that what that says? Totally is. That's +3. Okay, what does that say? 2.5? And that says also 2.5. And then that's 0. I'm gonna lose my shit. Okay. In what world? I guess if this is not flat, what's happening is the vise is sitting cockeyed like this, and so it's bringing the indicator closer to this rail. Um, in addition to whatever geometry fuckery is going on here, whatever kind of weird curve and shape and stuff it is. So, okay. So this tells us something is wrong. This actually doesn't tell us a whole lot. It tells us something's wrong, which I could have told you. Oh, God almighty. Okay. Balls. Shit, even. Okay. Um, hmm. Sorry, I'm not being very descriptive. I'm thinking. I'm debating how to approach this problem because it is a problem. I don't know what to do about it, or if it is a problem. Yeah, the simulation is a think. I agree. I agree. Christ. Okay. Um, I'm debating what I need to do about this because there are several approaches that we could take here. I could take it to work. I could take this whole assembly, this whole big thing to work, not the full surface grinder, right? Not the full thing. Just this part that moves the carriage here. I could take this to work and then carefully set this up on our large machine and just face these edges as little as I possibly can get away with. I could totally do that. That is a viable option. The question is that worth it? And then also, the next question is, how bad is the corresponding part over there, the saddle? I don't actually know what the names of them are. Um, I don't know how bad the corresponding part is the other problem. Because if it's worn into the shape, if it's basically lapped itself into the opposite shape of this, like if it is made itself into a matching shape, whatever weird curve it is, if it's made itself into the say opposite matching curve, then I need to do both. And I need to somehow compensate for the fact that I'm removing material from this. And I don't know how to do that. There's certainly ways. I just don't know what they are off the top of my head. This is supposed to be the easy project. Okay. Um, I'm also wondering if maybe we can just ignore this problem and leave it alone. Or it tells you that the rail has the most where it dips in the middle due to wear. Well, it's plus 2.5. That's the problem. It's positive. It's higher than this, not lower. If it was lower, that would make sense. It would make sense that there's a bunch of wear in the center, right? But it seems more like it's tipped like this. Not that it is anything that makes sense. Um, I guess Babbitt is an option. We could use a Babbitt casting, which is like a bearing material. It's like some kind of a lead tin alloy, if I remember right. I don't remember exactly what's in it. But Babbitt is this weird low melting temperature metal that's really good for casting, and it's really good for bearings too. And so what that means is you can basically rework tops of surfaces like this, and then it builds up material, and then you can face it back down to spec. That is an option. I didn't think about that. Um, I would rather. Oh Christ! I don't know, man. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do for sure is face the gib, this brass piece that was causing the most problems, because it has a bunch of wear in the center. It has like a massive 10 thou gap in here. Um, and that's certainly causing problems. The rest of it is like questionably causing problems. Like it's causing problems to a degree that I don't know yet, and it's to a degree that I don't know if I care yet because I'm not doing high precision work. I'm not doing a ton of high precision work in there. But this is causing it to be very difficult to use. So this definitely needs to be fixed for sure because of that. it'll just be a problem. So I'll fix that. I will get proper oil wicks. I'm so mad about that. Um, dude, I'm so mad about that actually. It's crazy that you just like, what if we just didn't, what if we just used a pipe cleaner? What if a pipe cleaner was good enough to oil this high precision machine? What the fuck, man? Okay. Oh, I'm so pissed. We might even have to do something to this too. Ugh. All right. So we have a plan. We're going to face this tomorrow. I'm also going to just do the tool post nut tomorrow at work after I finish because I don't want to deal with this bullshit. So um I will just do that on my own, and then we will come back and we will reassemble this, and then we will reassemble the lathe, and then everything will be happy. Everything will be good, and nothing will ever go wrong again. The end. Okay? Are we all on the same page? Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and find someone to read because it is getting kind of late. We have been going for like 3 hours. Um, so let's see if anyone I'm following live. I was actually gonna read into Ori, but alas. I will take suggestions, by the way. Um, let's see. We've got there's a VTuber doing some kind of crafts project. Oh wait, is Wacky live? No, I don't really believe that. But you know, we've got to have hope. Wacky. How do you spell his name? What is it? My Wacky Brain? There it is. My Wacky Brain. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and raid into him. Start the raid. Okay. I don't know what the raid message is gonna be. Uh, uh, side project extravaganza. How do you spell extravaganza? Did I get it right? I don't care. It's close enough. Okay, that's your raid message. Okay. Um, Here, let me back out real quick. Okay. You have to believe, raid. Okay. Um, hey, thank you all very much for watching. None of this went to plan. But then again, God knows nothing I do ever does. So this is what you get here. I appreciate you all coming by. If you guys were coming from Ori's stream, I swear a lot. Teehee, my bad. But yeah, anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And you know, if you think this was kind of interesting, you know, watching a moron ramble at old machines in his shop, and lose his mind, uh, you know, you can come back or don't. That's cool. I don't care. I do care. It would be cool if I had more people. More people are fun. I like this stuff a lot. I'm gonna stop talking. Thank you all for coming by. Have a wonderful rest of your days. Oh, I will be back on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. Um, yeah. Anyway, bye.